a nationwide shortage of diesel engine oil. So you know how diesel engines have to have three things in order to operate. They've got to have diesel fuel, they've got to have DEF fluid, as is known, or diesel emissions fluid, and then they have to have diesel engine oil. Well, I learned in the last 24 hours that diesel engine oil is going to run out in the next 4 to 8 weeks in America, and that there will be no more diesel engine oil until sometime in 2023. And when I first heard this, I was very skeptical. I'm like, what do you mean? How can they run out of diesel engine oil? But I did some digging and I made some phone calls. And it turns out it's all true. And I've got diesel engine oil retail websites flashing warnings now confirming the exact same thing. I did some more research into what goes into the manufacturing of diesel engine oil. And it turns out that there are certain additives, such as emulsifiers and anti-foaming agents and antioxidant agents and things like that, that come out of very specific chemical plants, many of them located on the East Coast. And these chemical plants, many of them have shut down and they've declared force majeure. And as a result, the entire supply chain that ends up creating diesel engine oil, that supply chain has collapsed. And there are no more additives available to add to what are called the base oils. The base oils plus additives is what makes diesel engine oil. And so without the additives, you can't make the oil. The oil's running out in 4 to 8 weeks in America. And that means there will be no engine oil for the long haul rigs, the 18-wheelers, no more engine oil for the diesel electric trains, no more oil for construction equipment, for fire trucks, for anything that runs on diesel, ambulances, you name it. No more diesel for UPS, FedEx, the Postal Service. Amazon will shut down. Walmart will shut down. There will be no food in the grocery stores, nothing on the shelves at Walmart, unless this problem is solved very quickly. This is going to be a total wipeout of transportation in America. It's even worse than that because diesel electric trains carry coal to the coal-fired power plants. And without diesel engine oil, you can't run the diesel electric trains. And without the trains, you can't carry the coal. And without coal, you don't have electricity. You have no power grid. So unless something changes, that's exactly where things are headed. And I did some more research. You might wonder, well, wait a minute. How often do long-haul trucks have to change their oil? And it turns out that 18-wheelers, which provide, food, consumer goods, everything all across America, all the parts and lumber and everything, they change their oil every 25,000 miles. And the typical 18-wheeler goes about 2,500 miles per week. So it means they have to change their oil every 10 weeks. And another way to look at that is you could say that each week, 10% of the trucks that are on the highways have to change their oil. Each week, 10%. So if you have no oil, even if you start with 100% of your trucks completely fresh, with fresh oil that's good for 25,000 miles, by the end of 10 weeks, you have 0% of the trucks on the roads because you can't run them without clean oil. Or, of course, you tear up the engines and you destroy the whole thing. But since diesel trucks right now have different states of oil, in other words, some of them, they're due for an oil change in 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever, what we're going to see if this shortage kicks in, as all the evidence is pointing to this, you're going to see each week 10% of the trucks taken off the road. And this is going to start, it looks like, sometime in August. And so in terms of rough calculations, then by the end of October or certainly early November, unless this problem is solved, there will be no more transportation trucks on America's highways. And there will be no diesel electric trains running. And there will be no transportation, effectively, in America. Not even barges and boats and ships, because most of them use different forms of diesel also. No construction equipment, no tractors, no food production, no farming, no transportation of the food. You understand? Unless this problem is solved, this is a total collapse of society. I mean, there's no other way to say it.